Why do I keep choosing Dodge Vipers over the Chevy Corvette? This is a question I've been asked multiple times, and it's really simple. Besides personal preference, how can I put this delicately? The Viper is better than the Corvette. Plain and simple.
Boy, if you don't get...
Let me explain. I'll start with the Gen 1s, for example. Any Gen 1, it doesn't matter the exact year. It can be a 92, it can be a 95, it doesn't matter. Compare an early 90s Gen 1 Viper to an early 90s Chevy Corvette, which is what, a C4, I believe. And the Viper automatically knocks it out of the park as far as looks go. And I guess the looks of the car is my main reason. I know looks are subjective. Everyone's not gonna have the same taste as me. But yes, the main thing is the looks of the car. So now you can say, what about the C5 Corvettes? So this is a C5 Corvette right here. What, the late 2000s, I believe? And this would be a Gen 2 Viper right here within the same time frame. This is what you've got going on right here. Once again, the Viper takes the cake with the looks. It's not even close. Now, the Gen 3 and Gen 4 Vipers, which get a lot of shit for resembling Corvettes. They get a lot of shit for resembling the C6 Corvettes. Now, you Gen 3 and Gen 4 guys, you're gonna like me for this. The Gen 3 Viper came out in 2003. That body style came out before the C6 ever did. So if anyone's copying anyone's looks, Chevy was kind of biting off of the looks of the Dodge Viper. Yes. Once again, the Gen 3 Viper came out before the C6 Corvettes. We can drag the Gen 5 into this. Ended production, what, 2017? Please correct me if I'm wrong. So a 2017 Viper, C7 Corvettes, which let me go on to say C7s are badass Corvettes. If I could afford both, the Viper and a Vet, I would have a C7 right here, manual of course, and I'd have the Viper here. Viper and C7. I can't afford both at the same time. It's just not gonna happen. But once again, picture a boom Viper and a C7 Corvette. Once again, the Viper kind of takes the cake. Aesthetically speaking, from the exterior. Now, when you get on the interior, ooh, that's a close one. The C7, Chevy really stepped their game up with the interior. Viper still takes the cake. And let's see. You get the vented hoods, you get the NACA duct. And every single Viper has the signature side gill, whatever you want to call this, for the heat extraction. Just let the heat out. That is gorgeous to me. Every gen has it. Even the Gen 3s and 4, they're more angular on the 3s and the 4, like choing, choing, but it still looks good. A lot of cars kind of copy it. Even Z06s, they have like a tiny little It goes just like that, like but not like this massive sweep and deal that starts from the door. It literally starts from the door and cuts into a huge chunk of the fender / hood area. That is badass. Oh, by the way, do you see that reflection? I shined it. I took my time. I washed it. Finally, right? So yes, aesthetically, the Gen 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 Viper takes the cake for any vet of that generation. It just does. There's no competition. Now, performance, you could say the performance quite similar. They're very similar. Let's be honest. This and the Corvette, they're pretty much rivals. That's what they're made to be, like compete with each other. Like, as a matter of fact, like the reason I just can't call a Viper a supercar, because the Viper is Dodge's Corvette. That's an argument for another video. Moving on, Another thing I really love, why I will always choose a Viper over a Corvette, is for what's under the hood of the Viper. Oh, come on, Seabiscuit. Oh, I'm gonna break it. Where was I? So yeah, one thing I will always like is what's under the hood of the Viper. You get that 8-liter V10, or you get an 8.3 or an 8.4, or whatever they're making now in the Gen 5s and the Gen 4s and the Gen 3s. Whatever it is, you're getting an 8-point-something V10, which is just, well, it's more than a V8, and it's bigger displacement than a V8. That does not mean the LS is, how can I put this? This does not make the LS a bad engine. Stop saying motor, people. It's an engine. It does not make the LS a bad engine. It just, to me, makes this more desirable, even to look at. Like, look at it. It's just gorgeous. That is a thing of beauty to me. But yeah, the power plant is another main reason I will always choose the Viper over the Corvette. Just look at it, bro. It's like no matter what you do with the Corvette, supercharged, turbocharged, cams, exhaust, yada yada yada, I can still pull up and be like, 8-liter V10, done. Now, at the end of the day, it all boils down to personal preference, what you like, what you dislike. If you were one of the guys that chose the Viper over the Corvette, let me know why. If you're one of the guys that purchased the Corvette over the Viper, let me know why. If you're one of the lucky few that own both simultaneously, share your thoughts, man. Your likes, dislikes, pros and cons of both, or similarities. Let me know, like, how similar are they? That'd be quite interesting to know. Also, before I end this video, I've ridden in every generation Viper except the Gen 4s. I don't know why Gen 4s are just so fucking rare to me. If you own a Gen 4, Central Texas area, hit me up. I would like to go for a ride. Okay. If you enjoyed this silly video in any way, shape, or form, please share, like, subscribe for more. Excuse me. And I'll catch y'all cats later. Peace and chicken grease.